Hey gang, Mark Sweeney here from Austin Dental Spa in beautiful Austin, Texas. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is Wisdom Wednesday, which we've been doing for about 5 years now. We bring you a little scientific information, things that can help you lead a healthier life, and we have a theme every month. This month the theme was Spiral into September. Since it was start of football season, I can't believe the month of September is nearly over now. We got 2 more days left and then we're into October. Not going to spoil it and tell you what the theme for October is, but we've already got one picked out. So anyway, we had a little fun with these stress ball footballs all month this month. We've still got a few of them left. If you want one, come on by. They're just the right size to fit in your palm, and I've never really had a need for a stress ball, but some of my patients feel otherwise, and they're squeezing on these things the whole time they're getting their dental treatment done. So our topic for today is going to be quite interesting. I was fascinated by this because this was new information for me, and it all gets down to, are you a fast walker or are you a slow walker, and why does it matter? Well, we're going across the pond to University of Leicester in United Kingdom. They did some research recently, and they found that this was quite amazing. I thought that fast walkers tend to live longer, and that is actually a marker if you're a fast walker. And I don't mean the speed walkers. I mean, but you go from point A to point B if you're walking pretty rapidly, instead of being kind of a slow walker that just takes your time. And they found that the life expectancy was sometimes 20 years longer. They tracked these people for a long period of time, and I'll get into some other aspects and some studies that were done here in the United States that kind of dovetail in and prove that point out. But what they found is that people who walked even 10 minutes a day had longer telomeres. And what are telomeres? They're the cap ends on your chromosomes. So your chromosomes are in a double helix. You may have remember that from junior high and high school biology, but they form a double helix, kind of like a ladder that's been twisted into a spiral. And the telomeres or telomeres are the cap ends of it. And what they found over the years is that these telomeres fray at the ends, kind of like a frayed rope. And so your chromosomes actually start getting shorter, and that's what is part of the aging process. And so what these guys in Leicester found in the United Kingdom is that the people who walked at least 10 minutes a day, or who walked a lot of places on a daily basis, their chromosomes were longer because their telomeres were less damaged. And so they think that has something to do with why they live longer. So that's why your chromosomes are important. As they shorten, those cells die. And so that's one of the aging process. But to circle back, they said that the brisk walkers, the people who walk fairly rapidly, had healthier telomeres, and so longer chromosomes. And that's all fascinating stuff. They didn't teach us any of that stuff in dental school. The term telomeres wasn't even in existence back then because they didn't have the ability to look at chromosomes like they do now. And this is not joggers. This is fast walkers. And one of the head researchers, Thomas Yates, said this, and I circled it because I thought I had to read it 2 or 3 times. In a previous study, the team found that with the exception of smoking, brisk walkers with an otherwise unhealthy lifestyle had a lower mortality risk than slow walkers with an otherwise healthy lifestyle. That just blew me away, because all this emphasis that's been on not smoking, not drinking alcohol, living a healthy life. And these guys are finding that the pace with which you walk and how much you do that is a better predictor of how long you're going to live. This guy, this is a direct quote. He said, you can ask people what they eat, you can ask people how active they are, how much they sleep, all those other lifestyle factors and behaviors, and none of these come anywhere close to being as important as walking speed. That's a direct quote from Thomas Yates, who is a physical activity researcher at the University of Leicester. So, because of that, you can figure that fast walkers probably have a healthier cardiovascular system, and they found that to be exactly the case. So now they found that walking just 10 minutes a day. Now, I've always heard 20 minutes of aerobic exercise is the cutoff line. You need at least 20 minutes, at least 3 times a week. These guys have cut it down to 10 minutes of walking. That's a trip around the block. Anybody should be able to fit in 10 minutes of walking during the day. 10 minutes of walking in a day, which is considered moderate to mild exercise, would prevent more than 100,000 premature deaths in a year, according to this study. And then we come back over to the United States. Journal of American Medical Association, their branch called Internal Medicine, the study used data about physical activity and death rates for thousands of American adults to estimate how many deaths every year might be averted if everyone exercised a little bit more. And they found the same thing. Over 100,000 people would make it through the year, would have longer lives if they just exercised a little bit. 10 minutes a day, walking at a fairly brisk pace. Another one, National Cancer Institute and the CDC together decided instead to explore what might happen to death rates if people started moving around more. And out of 4,840 participants, almost 5,000 people, different ethnicities, even mix of male and female, age range 40 to 85. And all joined this survey between 2003 and 2006. They wore an activity monitor for a week, and they found, astoundingly similar to what the UK found, they found that the people who moved around the most and who did it at a brisk pace they exercised an additional 10 minutes a day, that they could have avoided almost 7% of deaths. Again, over 100,000 they found. That's a lot of people, just from walking 10 minutes a day. So I thought you might find that as interesting as I did. Get out there and walk. So I always give a health tip at the end. And of course, easy segue this week. My health tip is get out there and walk for 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and you might add years onto your life and certainly going to have a healthier life. So quit worrying so much about what you eat and how much you drink, and get out there and walk and live a healthier life, have longer chromosomes. Have a good week. This is the end of September, so next week we'll introduce a new theme for October, and have a great week until then. Bye.